Sharks, and welcome to a Saturday edition of the Tuesday Evening Quarterback. I'm your host, Hump Bumgardner, and the Tuesday Evening Quarterback is back and better than ever. Let's get to it. As usual, it's wild and wacky in the MFL. Last week it was Upset City as the Buffalo Soldiers shocked the world. You see, they beat them retarded angry donkeys by a score of 110-64. Man, that was a surprise. I'll tell you, the Soldiers were coming off of 3 straight weeks as the worst team in the world. And all of a sudden they take it to one of the best teams in the league, to the tune of 110 points. I know the Humper was surprised by that, as I'm sure many other people around the Mutant Football League were. You know what else is kind of wacky and keeps on surprising? Is that team Bleeding Green. They continue to just win the games that they play. They got 4 wins against 1 loss, and they're all alone on top of the putrid Jackass Conference, where they have a 2-game lead. And I'll tell you what, despite the Donkeys' stumble last week, I still believe that they are probably the most likely world championship of the world contender, along with the New Jersey Trash. Well, let's get to the action. The game of the week last week had to be Spittin' My Hair, defeating the Scrappin' Gizzard Necks by a score of 85-82, behind 22 points from Eli Manning and a 4-6 combined point wide receiver effort from Larry Fitzgerald and Hines Ward. It was a great game, but Spittin' My Hair was able to come out on top, avoiding another type of upset because the Scrappin' Gizzard Necks, they aren't a very good football team either. Well, this week I think you gotta look down the road to the Steel Addicts traveling to the garbage dump in New Jersey to play the reigning defending World Championship of the World New Jersey Trash. Coach Monks has called out Coach Cal in the press, calling him both unskilled and fat. Now, I don't know how Coach Cal's gonna respond to that, but I'm sure he'll have his boys fired up and ready to play. Plaxico Burris is finally back off that suspension for the Trash, and rookie Matt Forte has really been on fire. Something stinks in that dadgum trash pile, and with Tony Romo and Frank Gore coming to town, the old Humper's kind of sniffing an upset. No, not so fast, my friends. Trash are gonna roll on in this one. 108-82, New Jersey Trash gonna win the game of the week. Alright, let's move on to a bit of a news segment. I'm calling this one's Humper's Donkey of the Week. Every week I'm gonna look at 4 or 5 players who have a really good week, and then decide who should be awarded the Humper's Donkey of the Week. Well, this week we had quite a few nominees. Old TJ Houshmandzadeh contributed 22 points in that big Soldier win over the Donkeys. Brandon Jacobs, the most true donkey of them all, he had 26 points in a win against the Dirty Sexy South. Lee Evans came out of nowhere to score 23 points, and Kyle Orton, coming off the trash heap literally, to go for 26 points against Sean Taylor. But none of those guys were more of a donkey than old Aaron Rodgers. Team Bleeding Green's Aaron Rodgers came up with 30 points in a big-time win against the Philadelphia Fat Attack. Old Aaron Rodgers got a sore shoulder, he's got some tears, he's got some stuff going on in there, but he strapped it up, he came out and he played and he scored 30 points, leading Team Bleeding Green to victory. And that's why Aaron Rodgers is going to be the first official Humper's Donkey of the Week. Alright, moving on to the worst team in the world. Well, for 3 straight weeks it was the Buffalo Soldiers. Even though we weren't on the air last week, they still got the award because they crapped their pants so bad. But now that they're off the snide, we got to give the award to somebody else. And there's not very many nominees. Unfortunately, the Chi-Town Hustle, They are 0-5, and they've got the lowest point total in the dadgum league with 354 points through 5 games. That's not very good. Well, sure, they dealt with some injuries, most notably to Brian Westbrook and also Carson Palmer, but they are just dadgum awful. And that's why they are the worst team in the world. All right, folks, let's have a look at the coaches poll. Alright, let's get on to the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the dadgum Power Rankings brought to you by Miller Lite. Coming in at number 5, well sure they haven't scored a ton of points, but they've only lost 1 game. Team Bleeding Green, they're 4-1 with 428 points scored, and I'll tell you what, they just keep on winning. Felix Jones has been a big surprise for this team, and it really does look like TBG's gonna be a contender. Coming in at number 5. Moving on now to number 4 in the Power Rankings. Well, number 4 this week is going to be the Man in Black in the Dirty Sexy South. They got a record of 3 wins and 2 losses, and they've scored 470 points. The Dirty has just an enormous stable of mules at running back. Old Steve Slayton and Jonathan Stewart, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Brandon Jacobs. All those guys can tote the rock with some authority. They are a little shaky at quarterback. They got Kurt Warner out there right now, and you know, he's an old man, and you never know what you can count on from him. But I tell you, they sure do have a stable of running backs, and they're in at number 4 this week. Moving up now to number 3 in the Power Rankings. Well, it's going to be the retarded Angry Donkeys this week. They're 3 wins, 2 losses. They got 519 points. That's over 100 points per game. But the Donkeys are coming off that ugly loss against Buffalo. They're still a really, really strong team, but I'll tell you what, folks, old Willie Parker needs to come back from that injury if the Donkeys hope to contend for a run at the World Championship of the World. They just can't do it the way their rosters are assembled without old Willie Parker running the ball. Moving on now to number 2. Number 2 in the Power Rankings this week is going to be the Steel Addicts. Old Steel Addicts got 3 wins and got 2 losses, and they scored 492 points. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and old Coach Cal has his boys playing really well. Not to mention, anytime you run old Tony Romo and Frank Gore out there on the football field, you give yourself a chance to win. Number 1 in the Power Rankings, as expected, as usual, seems to be a theme around this dadgum place, would be the New Jersey Trash. Now, the New Jersey Trash, they are 4-1, and they've got a league-leading 536 points. Man, that's 107 points per game. They got 3 straight wins, and they got Coach Johnny M. What else needs to be said? Not too dadgum much, I don't think. As usual, the Trash are loaded and ready to make a run at another World Championship of the World. Well, I tell you, that's the Power Rankings. And I know you folks have been missing old Hump. He had to take a week off. He's been a busy, busy man. He's crashing cars. He's making babies. He's doing lots of crazy stuff. But I will be back again next week. But until then, you know what to do. You got to keep your eyes upon the prize, your hands upon the wheel, and your dadgum mind